Okay, welcome back to my Let's Play of Final Fantasy XIV on the PC. We are in patch 5.3 content, which as of this recording is the most recent major patch for the next 2 days. So we gotta wrap things up. We gotta catch up. Praying threads. It happened after Alize and I saw the children back to Spagarix. We chanced to meet Thancred there, returning from his mission. He'd been shadowing Elidibus around the realm, only to lose sight of him near the Crystarium. And he was in the middle of telling us where he'd been when he just crumpled to the ground. The Kyrugians are looking after him now, with Alphino standing by, just in case his healing magics are needed. Since I couldn't do anything to help, I thought it best to find you, and the guard at the XIV told me where to look. I see. It cannot have been easy leaving Thancred's side. My thanks for bearing word to us. Come, let us hurry to Spagarix. Let's go. No. Probably would have been faster to just go to gate. Because you can't mount in the cities. Can't do it. They dragged you here too, did they? My apologies. How do you feel? Embarrassed, but otherwise well enough. I won't be staying overnight. This episode was not the result of any injury I could find. Thancred's ether, however, did show signs of instability, and I did what I could to calm the fluctuations. And all of this happened without warning. Not exactly. You will doubtless recall the time Urianger nearly drowned, and I gallantly went to his rescue. When his water-walking charm failed, he was tired, as were you when you got back. We were both spent, yes, on account of which you begged us to rest, which, in retrospect, may have been a good idea. The fact is, I've been experiencing regular bouts of lightheadedness ever since, but there was no actual fainting until now. As Alphino observed, I have no lingering injuries, and it most assuredly isn't old age, which leaves but one likely cause. The link between body and soul is weakened further. Time grows short. We must complete the spirit vessel with all haste. To that end, Mangg, might I trouble you to make a trip to the source? In addition to looking in on our friends' bodies, I would have you consult Kryl about our plan. If she has any concerns, we should at least endeavor to address them prior to proceeding. In the meantime, we should get back to laying bare Elidibus' plot. Thus far, I've learned this much, that in each of the places he has visited, there have been sightings of suspicious black-clad strangers. Moreover, the coming of these shady individuals has invariably coincided with some manner of misfortune. Beasts terrorizing settlements, blight ravaging crops, you know the sort of thing. All of which serves rather conveniently to make Elidibus' call for new heroes reverberate that much more loudly in the hearts of his audience. And you think these black-clad strangers are Ascians? I do, and I fully intend to investigate further, though for that I shall require additional feet on the ground. You can count on mine. Gods know I've been itching to get out there for a while. Mayhap Urianger too can be prevailed upon to join in your efforts. He has already provided copious guidance on the matter of the spirit vessel's construction. It is for Beck Lug and I to wrestle with the rest. Well, if you can spare the old boy, we may as well make use of him. I'll go and give him the good news. You'll do no such thing. However heedless you are of your own well-being, if you care at all for Reen's feelings, you'll stay in bed until you're needed. Alphino and I will find Urianger. All being well, we will have news to share by the time you return. Safe travels, Mangg. Alright, well, I'm always happy to meet up with Kryle. Yep. Mangg! What excellent, awful timing. You see, our friends, they've taken a turn for the worse. Kryle's hardly had a moment's rest these past 2 days. She didn't want everyone to worry, so we've been keeping it quiet. Oh, but listen to me. I call myself a receptionist. I haven't even bothered to ask you why you're here. So they think the spirit vessel will be ready soon, and they want to make sure there are no problems at this end. You'd better talk to Kryle. She's with the others in Dawn's Respite. Let's go and see her. Just prepare yourself, alright? Oh, have we been in here? Have we ever been allowed in here?
Excuse us. This way.
I would rather you hadn't seen this.
I'm sorry. We have urgent tidings.
Oh, no, I'm not angry with you. On the contrary, I know full well how hard everyone has been searching for a way to return home. And I had hoped to afford you the time you needed. But given our friend's present state, perhaps it was for the best that you came. Stiff and cold, all of them. As if they were made of wax. Barely alive at all. And they had been doing so well. Save for occasional signs of etheric instability, they appeared to be in passable health. Then, quite without warning, things took a turn for the worse. A change for which even Master Matoya could offer no explanation. She could only remind me that the soul is yet an unknown frontier, and that much and more lies beyond our ken. But let's not lose heart just yet. At times like these, it is all the more important that we remain positive. Why? I but this moment succeeded in quelling a fluctuation in Thancred's ether. And while the others have weakened, they have remained relatively stable. I believe I may leave my post for a moment. So come, let me hear your tale outside.
I just love that this group over here is 3 Lalafell. All the big people have, they're having trouble. What news from the first? I see. Work on the spirit vessel proceeds apace, but our friends begin to falter. As they themselves have observed, the link between body and soul is weakened. It's as simple as that. For now, I'm still able to quell the fluctuations in their ether, but it's only a matter of time. We'll lose them if we don't act soon. So if the Exarch is ready to attempt something, let him attempt it. As for the spirit vessel itself, if we seek to draw upon Allagan wisdom, we could do worse than consult an expert in the field. And I think I know just the man. Time being against us, it may be best if I go and solicit his aid in person, even if it does mean leaving my patients. Alright. Food for the soul. Mangg, could you spare a moment? Well, Krile goes and finds this expert of hers, I mean. There's a gift I was hoping to send to our friends in the first, you see, and since we might be waiting a while, I wondered if you wouldn't mind giving me a hand with it. My first attempt turned out well, so now I'm going to make it properly. I'll be in the kitchen at the House of Splendors. Meet me there. Well, I had better be off too. I shall see you soon, either here or at the house, depending on how our patients fare in my absence. Tatar putting together another uniform or something? Oh, that's upstairs. Hold on. No. Where am I going? Here? Here. There you are, Mangg. As I'm sure you've guessed, the gift is a bit of home cooking. Unlike Krile, I can't do much to help our friends directly, but that doesn't mean I've been idle. No, I've been doing my best for the Order, taking on this job and that to keep our coffers full. I've even helped out with the Ishgardian restoration. And in the course of all this, my culinary skills have come on quite a bit, so I thought, why not make something for our friends? It's baking in the oven even as we speak. Shouldn't be long now. There, baked to perfection, even if I do say so myself. Smells great. Your cake looks like bread. Doesn't it just? It's called Archon loaf, in case you're wondering, and it's what they eat over in Charlian. Simple fare, I admit, but I thought it would remind our friends of home. If nothing else, Krile tells me it's a good source of ether. So it should lend them a bit of strength at least. There truly is nothing like the smell of fresh bread from the oven. Bread fresh from the oven. Krile! And if it isn't Rambros, too. I trust you require no introductions either, Mangg. Greetings, my friend. Full glad am I to see you well. I confess, I have a long list of questions to ask you, but I will endeavor to contain my curiosity for the present. I understand our mutual friend is struggling with the application of certain Allagan technologies. I have been keeping Rambrose apprised of events in the First. Suffice it to say, he knows about the Exarch. If anyone alive can provide insight into this matter, it is him and his fellow sons. Loath as I am to disappoint you after so glowing an endorsement, memory transference was the sole province of Allagan royalty, its mechanisms closely guarded secrets. If any record of them remains, we have yet to find it. To wit, I regret that I can offer no solution to your problem. Which begs the question of why I bothered to come here, empty-handed as I am. The answer being rather brazenly to ask a favor. I would have you relay a message to our comrade. Tell him that we never doubted him. Never doubted that he would achieve all that he said he would. Those of us who remain behind have yet to play our part. But when the time comes, he may rest easy in the knowledge that we will most assuredly do so. And then the tower shall shine once more as a beacon of hope in this world and beyond. So tell him that we consider his duty done, and that he should follow his heart now. Forgive me, but do you say this to discourage him from overexerting himself, or to encourage him to hold nothing back? That is for our friend to decide, but either way I dare say a certain someone will be unimpressed. Well, there you have it, Mangg. If you'd be so kind as to see Rambrose's message and Tataru's bread to their intended recipients, along with my report, of course. Cryo, before I wrap the bread up, would you mind giving it a try? Just to make sure everything's as it should be? But of course, I'm always happy to lend my taste buds. Excuse me, Rambrose. As a fellow Charlian, may I trouble you for your opinion? Well, I usually have mine with a good dollop of Rolandberry jam, but I suppose plain is best for sampling purposes. Yeah, I mean, it's Tataru. It's gonna be kick-ass. I see. Oh, no, is it that bad? It is indeed, Tataru. Dense and unpleasant. Exactly as it should be. It's just so. The very taste of home. As you might expect, our countrymen have amassed a wealth of culinary wisdom from every corner of the world, but our native cuisine is, shall we say, a little lacking. In Charlian, the majority regard food as a source of nourishment rather than enjoyment. Save for those few who actually research the culinary arts, we pay little heed to the niceties of taste and texture. It was against such a gastronomic landscape that what is now called the Archon loaf was born, the creation of an Archon who devoted himself to the study of bodily sustenance. In order to maximize its nutritional value, he incorporated copious quantities of pulverized fish and vegetable matter into the dough, all with nary a care for those qualities which make bread enjoyable. The result is a flavor that continues to defy description. Yet for its many shortcomings, the loaf's nutritional value cannot be denied, and being a damnably convenient way to cater to one's bodily needs, it quickly found an audience amongst busy scholars. Why, when I was a lad, every meal was a sandwich made with this very bread and whatever ingredients happened to be on hand. I suspect just about every Archon could say the same. Having been away from home for so long, I thought I might have forgotten the taste, but no, it is all too familiar. How it takes me back. If there is enough, perhaps you can spare some for the Exarch. He is certain to appreciate it. Oh, there's plenty to go around. I'll be sure to wrap up an extra slice. Mangg, when you deliver the loaf, please be sure to send everyone my regards. Tell them we're doing everything we can and that we'll be praying for their safe return until the moment they get back. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a tasty treat, I gotta say. Bastard. Welcome back, my friend. How was your journey? Eat this shit. By the 12, Archon loaf. However did you come by this? I'd swear it had come straight from Charlian. Ambrose said that, did he? His words are very nearly as heavy as the bread, but I appreciate the sentiment. Should you have the chance, you may tell him that he needn't worry, that which I seek to do, I do of my own volition and with all my heart. In pursuing this path, I fully expect to earn the censure of our friends, and to deserve it, but I shall forge on regardless. Forge on as you yourself did when faced with a similar predicament, so I ask that you have faith in me, in what we do. But we were talking about your journey. Before the others arrive, I would hear how their bodies fare. Oh, and the bread I shall save for later. Though it has been many years, I have not forgotten the feats of mastication required to consume it, nor how unconducive they are to conversation. Yeah, that sounds terrible.
Forgive the delay.
We have visited every region and confirmed the presence of Ascians throughout the realm.
Lest a grave predicament be made to seem hopeless, it should be noted that they are of inferior rank. The black-masked minions who answer to the Red.
Yes, a gaggle of schemers attempting to exploit recent events to sow the seeds of petty conflict. Fortunately, nothing of any great concern has come of their meddling just yet.
We also encountered a number of the Crystarium's former defenders, busily solving this problem and that in a bid to become warriors of light.
Their zeal is to be applauded. 'Tis but a pity I cannot encourage them on their course.
Not knowing Elidibus set them upon it, no. Both the troubles to be solved and the villains to be vanquished are his doing too, like as not. And so, with apologies to the aspiring warriors of light, I believe it best that we deal with the Ascians quickly and quietly.
I quite agree.
But tell us, what news from the source? How fare our bodies?
Well enough, though time is not on our side.
Indeed. Heartening though it is to know we can stay a while longer, returning home must remain our priority.
This seems an appropriate moment to ask about the spirit vessel. Have you made any progress?
We have, as it happens. One moment.
The red stones. Then this doth mean...
For the benefit of all, permit us to explain. As you will recall, using white auracite as our starting point, we fashioned a vessel for mind and memory both. Yet, though it served this purpose admirably, the process of imbuing it with one's complete essence proved a somewhat thornier proposition. Simply put, the memory would not accompany the mind. And so, we looked to the Allagan's mastery of memory transference for a solution.
This approach was not without its own complications, however, relying as it does upon blood, which inanimate objects notably do not possess. We duly explored methods of suffusing the vessel with drops of the aforementioned. Alas, our painstaking experimentation succeeded only in making me feel faint. and singularly failed to imbue the crystal with the necessary properties. It was then that an idea occurred to me, namely that we might fuse the vessel not with normal blood, but with my crystallized essence.
You're doing this for our sakes. So far be it from us to complain. But don't think we haven't noticed what's happening to your arm.
It falls well short of offering up my life in exchange for yours, which was your only stipulated prohibition, as I recall. And it is but a small price to pay for delivering you home.
Assuming it works. We shall soon know if this grisly addition will serve as a suitable conduit for the subject's memory. Though not soon enough to warrant your waiting. The test is like to take a while.
Let us be off then. We have Ascians to attend to, among other things.
Forgive me, but I count 6 vessels. And there are only 5 of us.
One is for testing purposes. I will personally use it to see whether the crystal functions as it should.
And if it does, wouldn't that mean that your soul could also return to the source?
Yes. In theory, at least. But there is a distinct difference between your circumstances and mine. While your corporeal forms want for souls, my past self does not. Mayhap our essences would blend, or mayhap they would curdle. There is no telling what might occur.
And you'd be willing to take that risk?
I would.
I see.
Boy. Yeah, I mean, I can see why they have you go through the Crystal Tower stuff now, as you do the main story. Because it does become pretty relevant, I suppose. Hast thou a moment, Mangg? I would speak with thee on the matter of the Exarch's mooted return unto the source. Thou wilt have observed that our friend spake not in certainties, yet if Beck Lug hath the right of it, 'tis possible to predict the outcome of his plan with some confidence. And it is their assessment that, given the opportunity, the Exarch's soul should successfully merge with that of his younger self. Which is not to say the process is without complications. For one, the Exarch hath been subjected to an additional rejoining, an experience which will have wrought a change in his ethereal composition. As thou thyself didst demonstrate in merging with Ardbert, however, there existeth an affinity twixt like souls, and this doth give us cause to hope. Yet there remaineth one immutable condition upon which success doth hinge. The Exarch must needs recognize his past self as simply that, himself. As our recent travails have demonstrated, memories are essential to the soul. Any discrepancy in the former may feasibly cause the latter to spurn its former flesh. 'Tis a seemingly simple yet complex problem. For nigh on a century our friend hath striven only to deliver this realm, to deliver thee, and to that singular end did he cast aside his very name, that he might assume the mantle of the Crystal Exarch. Henceforth none can say what choices our friend will make, but I thought it only right that thou be made aware of these truths. Right then. While the Exarch literally pours his own sweat and blood into his allotted task, it seems only fair that we attend to our own. Dealing with Elidibus and his minions. Just so. And there was one other matter. In light of our deteriorating health, Y'ashtola should not be left alone at Anadar. Might I trouble you to visit her, Mangg? See that all is well. I would go myself, but I think she might be safer in the hands of one less prone to collapsing. My thanks. You may leave the Ascians to us. Once they are out of the way, we will retire to Yulmore, and when Y'ashtola has finished plumbing the depths, I'd like the two of you to join us there. If you are bound for Anadar, I suggest you go via Venmont Yards. Our friends there will be glad to provide a boat for you. Let us be on our way then. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Kupo. I have a gift for you from Tataru. From Tataru, you say? Whatever could it be? Harkon loaf, thou sayest. Why, even to hear the name doth transport me to times long past. Bread from another world? May I try some? Mayest thou, child? Thou must! That said, though I personally disagree with the consensus, I do nonetheless advise thee to temper thine expectations. Wiser words have never been uttered. Though it rarely darkened our dining table at home, I can attest that it was standard fare at the studium. Indeed, a slice was never far from our peers' hands. Alphino, you really are an unbearable snob sometimes, do you know that? What I believe my colleagues are trying to say is that we appreciate the gesture. Tell Tataru we'll do our best to return before she's forced to seek further supplementary employment. Supplementary. Right. Let's really be off now. We can find a drink to wash down the bread on the way. I mean, didn't we do some pretty, like, crazy shit to get to this place last time? You know, we rode fucking Bismarck and stuff. Oh, if it ain't the Warrior of Darkness himself. What brings you to these parts? Heading out to sea, eh? Of course we'd be happy to help. Just say the word and I'll ready a boat. Oh, shit.
Excellent. I had intended to speak with you alone. None of my doing, lest you misunderstand. The link between her body and soul wavers. I know not what you hoped to find here, but it will avail you naught to learn of our past.
Reviewing the records yet again? Really? You worry too much, Elidibus. This dedication to your duty verges on obsession. To think some thought you ill-suited for the role, how wrong they were. But come, turn your gaze outside the window, my friend. The rains have ceased, and we have been graced with another beautiful day.
It fades. Fades away into oblivion. Does the world no longer have need of me? No. I am Elidibus, and I will fulfill my duty. Sundered though you may be, you fought for the world's salvation. For hope. Hope. Ah, it swells within me, empowers me. Now I may carry out my mission. And yet, why do I yearn for this? Why do I struggle so? I shall take her into my safekeeping. If you want her back, you will do as I ask. Show me your strength. I would take your measure. I have prepared a suitable arena. You need but ride the flow of ether.
You know how strong I am, dude. You are familiar with this place, I believe. This remembered Amaro. Proceed to the capital. I shall return your comrade to you there. You like my little behemoth earring? Pretty slick, huh? I tire of your games. You speak as if you were disappointed in me. Why? I am your enemy and you mine. Our goals are in conflict and we are fated to clash. Or had you hoped that feigned sympathy and false understanding would cast your crimes in a less reprehensible light, that I would come to look upon you as a friend? You who have slaughtered my people. You who would tear down everything we have built. You do not deny it, then. Very well. Let us change the cast of this trial. You will know what you have stolen from us. But do not imagine I crave remorse, only justice. Here we go. What are we doing? Need but defeat the enemies before you. First, something easy. Those whom a budding hero might encounter at the beginning of his tale. I believe I have the perfect subjects. Why are you wasting my time, dude? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Hasha! Yep, that was simple. Okay. All too easy, I see. But at least you now understand the rules. Thus will we make our way to the capital. That was in poor taste even for you. That appearances should unsettle you so. I was under the impression you simply destroyed all who barred your way, sparing nary a thought to the possibility that your foe could be someone's beloved. But come, we shouldn't dwell on the beginning when so much of your story awaits. Every tale requires villains. Defeat them and claim your place as a hero. Gaius! Well done, champion of Eorzea. Well done. Onward, then. Over the bloodied bodies of the fallen. You tasted many sweet triumphs, yes, but so too did you taste bitter tragedy. Who could forget the Crystal Braves, that idealistic, pathetic dream born from a malformed creature? Faces you know and loathe all. Let your hatred burn and strike them down with all your might.
Oh, God damn it.
With such ease yet again, you did always grow stronger with every battle. It seems it will take more than those monsters to leave an impression upon you. Or mayhap you simply fail to understand my meaning. Not that it matters. No, I have dealt with countless heroes, and always it ends the same way. No amount of reasoning will bridge our differences. Will result in happiness for all. Whatever your reasons may be, I cannot be bound by them. I can but put faith in my own beliefs and fight for them with all my being. Seems there's nothing for it but for us to fight. For a certainty. I am Elidibus, and come what may, I will fulfill my mission. To that end do I take your measure, and eventually I will eliminate you. Your hopes and dreams are inconsequential. But enough talk. It is not your assertions that I wish to know, but your strength. Falsely accused of regicide, you fled for the snow-swept fields of Kurthas. Had you and the Scions met your demise that day in the Sultanate, La Habrea might have been spared his. But not only did you stubbornly live, you hurled yourself into the thick of the Dragon Song War. Swept along by the tide of events, you pursued and slew those who sought to stop the unending conflict, just as you were bid. Or was it a thirst for vengeance that drove you? That's good. Dodge. Get fucked, son. Okay, manification. This.
Impossible.
Done. I trust you are beginning to limber up. Do keep up the fine form. Around heroes, people are wont to flock. People who harbor all manner of motives, each baser than the last. Come, let the curtains rise on the grand melee. Okay, why don't you give me something tough to fight? No more than they deserve. In the end, the hand of friendship was tainted with personal desire. Oh, okay. No, okay, I'm out. You know what comes next. You put an end to the Dragon Song War. You sort of interrupted my combo, man. Yeah, you fucked over my combo. And as simple as that, a 1,000-year war is brought to its conclusion. But every end marks a new beginning, and for heroes such as you, there is only ever conflict. How are you enjoying the walk down memory lane? I dare say there will have been a few individuals for whom you harbor deep feelings, whose passing caused you keenest grief. That is what our people are to us, an irreplaceable existence that can ill be lost. I will save them, for they are my... Draw your weapon. I think not, hero. Not yet. You must content yourself with the company of monsters a while longer. Emperor Solus had kindled an insatiable flame. Garlemald was its name, and it raged across the land, consuming all in its path. Following the trail of ash, you set forth for Alamigo and Doma into a storm of blood. Again you fought, and again you grew stronger, so strong that we could no longer control you. Yours is an unnatural, beastly strength, and we shall lay it bare. In order to gain a foothold in the liberation effort, you journeyed to far eastern plain. There you encountered the land's greatest warriors and sought to win them over to your cause.
The sun cannot be extinguished.
It is not enough!
The strong are drawn to the strong. Thus did you gather new allies to your banner. Yet where ardent souls gather, so too do fires burn. In this way did you consign those around you to the flames. Burn them all, hero. Reduce them to nothingness, like the ephemeral morning dew they are. Hey now. Holy shit. I'm stunned like. Oh, there we go. How you like that shit?
Forgive me.
I cannot fail. Not again.
Did not hesitate, or perhaps could not. No matter. Let us turn our attention to the finale. Here we shall have a test between fellow beasts. It is only fitting, would you not agree? When I fought you in this flesh, 'twas I who triumphed. Will you turn the tables this time? Probably. That's a lot of shit. Come on. There you go. Uh-huh. Okay. How was that? My creation appears to have lost its form. It is no easy thing to see through the eyes of a beast such as him. In any event, there's only so much to be learned by taking your measure this way. Let us try something different. Come, we continue this within. An impressive show of strength, but surely no more than a foretaste of that which Emmett Selk's conqueror is capable. Such might requires a fairer measure, to compare like with like, yes. I shall just have to test you myself. Come on, Mangg. Show me what you can do. Oh shit, he gets like a nameplate. Yeah, well, look at my little floating ball. Here we go. Defeat Ardbert. Yes. I am ready to do that. Alright. We want Bolden. There you go. Deal with some of that. Some of that. That. Up. Okay, well, sort of unloaded on him, and yeah. Okay, alright, alright. Gotta heal. Oh, come on now. That hurts. Alright. No, no, no. Like it would kind of be a little tricky if you couldn't heal yourself. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I knew that would be an unbalance. An imbalance. Okay, that's something. This seems safe right here. Yep. I'm laying it on thick, boyo. Thick as it gets. We want to be close, right? Or yes. Okay. That worked. Fuck, fuck, fuck. I mean, that's a lot of damage he's putting out. Well, I mean, we're winning, I guess, right? Doing okay. Lands of... Let's heal. Let's just heal. Okay. I'm not holding anything back, dude. Don't worry. Yeah, what is that? What is happening? Oh, god damn. Oh, damn. Oh, you fuck. Well, that's why you have mobility options. Oh, shit. No. Cooldown. Fuck. I think I could have actually gotten out of there. It's all good. We're going to have to use Lucid Dreaming, but it's all good. Okay. Fine, fine, fine. Ground breaker. Oh, okay, I see now. Oh, okay, I see now. Alright, just, Yep. Oh, God. Alright, we got this. Come on. Ah! I mean, that's like the best part of playing fucking Red Mage is when you dodge attacks using those skills. Feel like a badass. Die! 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 Oh, there you go. Wow.
You have grown stronger since last we fought. The result of your trials in the first, no doubt.
Have you finished? My apologies. I freed myself as soon as I awoke. But rather too late, I see. Now, Elidibus, if you have ceased trading blows, I would trade words with you. I have a theory, you see. One concerning that which you seek to accomplish. It stems from who, or rather what, you truly are. A primal. The ancients created Zodiac to deliver the star from destruction. If the magic that brought him forth is the precursor of what we know as summoning, then Zodiac would have been instilled with a presiding desire. I found it among the records at Anida, and it came as no surprise. Were I faced with the world's destruction, I too would wish for the same. Salvation. I know that you sacrificed yourself to become Zodiac's heart. How you came to be separated from him is less clear. But if you are a fragment of his being, it stands to reason a desire for the world's salvation would drive you. And thus did you seek to inspire the masses to rise up as warriors of light, going so far as to use Ardbert as a symbol of hope.
Correct on all counts. Such is my nature, and such are my methods. I have aided heroes. I have made them. I have even become them. This served not only to strengthen me, but also to facilitate the work of my brothers, such as Emmett Selk, with his penchant for nation building.
They actually pronounced it penchant. You rarely hear that in just like English speaking narratives.
Then you will be all too familiar with the fickleness of mankind. We change, we forget, and what little we do remember becomes twisted and fragmented over time. For which reason, you deem us unfit to carry on your legacy. But are you, yourself, free of these foibles? As the last witness of the final days, do you remember everything that was lost? Or even the things you cared about?
Get to the point.
A primal is shaped by the hope that fuels it. Even should this hope be something as simple as the world's salvation, it is the collective desire of innumerable disparate souls crying out for deliverance. Having drawn your strength from such a cacophony of voices, can you truly be sure you still speak with your own?
Your question is irrelevant. No matter how much I should change, no matter how much I should forget, I shall ever remember my duty. At times I stand with my brethren. At times I stand against them. All that I might steer mankind and the very star upon their true course. For Elidibus is my name and my mission, guiding my every deed. But enough talk. You have shown me sufficient proof of your might. As I am now, I would struggle to defeat you. Yet I have still to play all of my cards. If I could offer you some semblance of sport, your lessers would pose no threat to me. Would you not agree, Warrior of Darkness?
That sounded like a threat. It has been an eventful morning, if indeed it is morning. I have no idea how long I was unconscious. Regardless, I am gratified to see that my efforts at Anador have borne fruit. We have confirmed the nature of our foe and his plot. Now then, what news from the surface? I see. Then let us make for Yulmore at once. We have much to share with our comrades, Elidibus' parting threat not least of all. But forgive me. It would seem my belongings did not accompany me here. I will need to retrieve them from Anador. With luck, the ethereal stream you traverse still lingers. I won't be long. Okay, well, I'm not going to end here. This would be a bitch to get back to, so let's just do it. Etched in the stars. A peculiar crystal lies on the floor. Upon its surface, an array of lights twinkle like a tiny constellation of stars. Day 4th. Bring honor to the seat of... Distorted voice of an ancient rings out in your mind. A moment preserved in the crystal, it would seem. You notice something else glinting up ahead. Is it really a quest, though? Is it really a quest? You find 3 more crystals lying on the floor. Though they differ in color and decoration, each is identical in shape. You focus on the crystals and find that the words they hold ring clearer than before. Behold, my friends, embraced by the earth and caressed by the wind, vibrant life flourishes. All is right in creation. There can be no greater joy than to use our wisdom for the good of our people, no greater pride. May all know happiness, now and forevermore. There do not appear to be any more crystals in the hall. Perhaps it would be wise to continue the search outside. Quick change of clothes. Your instincts serve you true, and you discover another 2 crystals. As you reach out with your consciousness, new voices begin to echo in your mind. The heavens are ablaze and the land rent asunder. What will become of the world? Is life itself to be denied? Come what may, we must not surrender to despair. If we but hold fast to hope, we may yet find a path to salvation. Voices tell an incomplete tale. Might more remain to be found? Yes. The answer is yes. You soon discover 2 more crystals. Rather too soon, in fact, as if someone wanted you to find them. Everything burns, crumbles, decays. I hear the lamentations of my brethren, and soon there will be only silence. We will deliver our star from its doom, this we swear, so please dry your tears. Whatever awaits at the end of your search, it is plain you have yet to find it. A hop and a skip away. Sure enough, your persistence is swiftly rewarded, this time with 3 crystals. The time has come. We shall rewrite the laws of creation, and we shall save our star. From this life our Savior born, may I be worthy of the honor. I feel my soul turning, slowly but irrevocably, and the power I wield begins to seem terrible. But this is right. It is right. Tale the crystal's weave seems to near its end, but it isn't over yet. With almost melancholy inevitability, the 12th crystal soon reveals itself to your questing eye. Though salvation is ours, it came at great sacrifice. All that remains is to pray that we will one day meet again beneath a blue sky. Judging by its testimony, it would seem the voice was recorded in the wake of the final days. As you scan the area, another glint catches your eye. gone is the brilliant radiance of life, replaced by the sickly glow of malformed creatures. Is this to be how it ends, for we who loved the star with all our being? No, I will not suffer it to be so. Well, well, we meet again, my new old friend. Ithlodius. Ithlodius. How good of you to remember. I see you have been collecting stars. I speak of those crystals. They have constellations etched upon them, yes? High in the heavens, those stars shine their guiding light down upon the lives below. Fitting symbols for the convocation of 14, would you not agree? As you will have gathered, each crystal bears an account of the life of a member of the convocation as remembered by the Unsundered. Lest you worry, they aren't concepts. They are far too incomplete to be so. But they suffice for imbuing memories within sundered souls, that they might be restored to their office. Keep them. I am sure Emmett Selk wouldn't mind. So how fare you of late? You are feuding with Elidibus this time, I believe. I shall refrain from passing comment on your struggle. It is not my place to do so, long departed as I am. But if I may give voice to a personal desire, I would rather you lived. If you do not, how will you keep your promise to Emmett Selk? The promise to remember. I'm gonna lower the volume. This is just fucking annoying. It must weigh heavy, the burden of all those memories. To one who has lived a life such as yours, I can well imagine how Elidibus's existence might seem hollow, how empty his single-minded pursuit of a half-forgotten cause must appear. But know that his devotion is not without reason, even if he himself can no longer remember what that reason is. Well, that is quite enough talk about Elidibus. I would see if you can reunite the wayward stars. I mentioned before that there was a member of the Convocation who opposed Zodiark's summoning and defected, one whose office was left vacant. Defectors having been deemed unworthy of commemoration, no crystal exists for the individual in question. Or shouldn't exist at any rate, and wouldn't had a friend not created one in secret. A crystal bearing the forgotten name of his office, along with a magic of his own conceiving, a singular incantation embodying his spirit. Among all the offices, the 14th was most unusual, for while the rest sat in Omero, its holder was charged with gaining an intimate knowledge of the wider world. In the course of his duty, he traveled the length and breadth of every land and befriended countless folk. He encountered troubles, too, of course, matters which he could simply have referred to the Convocation, but that was not his way. Nay, more often than not, he would call upon his comrades and together resolve matters themselves. Such is the magic sealed within that crystal, the magic to summon the stars to your side. In time of greatest need, should you wish upon it with all your heart, it will surely answer your call. And now it is where it belongs. Oh, there is no need for thanks, but nor will I hear any complaints about it either. After all, I cannot say whether I act of my own volition or by the will of my recreator.
I was wondering where you'd disappeared to.
Was he talking about me?
Is something troubling you? No? Very well. I have everything. Let's hurry back to the surface.
Ah, fresh air at long last. I would celebrate my return to dry land with a pot of tea, had we the luxury of time. But we must be prepared for Elidibus. Given what we know, it is plain he will not be deterred from his course. And nor would I were I him. Not if it meant forsaking everything I loved. That said, I have not forgotten how Emmett Selk sought to find common ground with us for all our misgivings. Ultimately, our differences were not to be bridged, of course, but one must always try. Emmett Selk understood this, and if his gesture resonated with you, perhaps you might consider reaching out to his brethren. Though it may all be for naught, you of all people know that there is no such thing as a foregone conclusion. Alright. Silky pudding. Distinctively smooth texture and rich taste of this lightly sweet boiled dessert will have your mouth watering. Sausage and sauerkraut. Okay. That's not very fantasy, but okay. Stuffed Highland cabbage. Traditional dish of minced meat seasoned when packaged inside leafy Highland cabbage, then stewed in a light broth. Or herring pie. Chunks of seasoned herring baked into a flaky crust. Shaped into a fish. Boy, oh boy. I guess I'd try this stuffed cabbage. Kind of sounds good. I like cabbage. I like meat. I like broth. Rocking it up. Anyways. So we didn't get to the dungeon in this video, obviously. But the very next quest, we'll be doing a dungeon. So that should be good. Then we're going right into a trial. So dungeon, then trial. And then I think we should be able to finish the patch in the following video. That's the plan, you know. Some things take a while. They might be longer videos. We'll see. But it'll all get done. Don't worry. My name is Mangg. Game watching has been Final Fantasy XIV. I'll see you fine folks in the next part.